They don't run the world.
What are you talking about?
So Nazis run. Hold on, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Nazis run the world?
Germany lost World War II. The Nazis didn't. The Nazis actually accomplished what they wanted to do, which was annihilate Germany. Now they're running the WEF. They're basically in Switzerland running everything.
Sam?
The Nazis are in Switzerland running everything.
That's not true.
That is true, Brian. People ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters. And welcome to Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters, aka Highway to the Danger Zone.
Touchy subject. Sam just said something so racist, so funny.
Why is it?
Maybe partially true. It wasn't even racist. It was
I don't
just,
see this. Is what I'm getting into, bro.
It was just funny.
I want to get into this. It's like
it was true.
We have been conditioned.
No, it was cultural, not racist.
To believe everything.
No.
Racial
it was culturally
is racist.
Active.
It is not. It's just
it was culturally accurate.
Like, dude, you can't hold me at gunpoint and tell me to recognize diversity, and then when I go, hey man, this is kind of funny about this diversity, then call me a racist.
That's exactly right.
You can't do it.
I said you were making you were making an observation about a certain culture, not black, by the way.
Yeah,
that was so true, and that is hilarious.
Yeah,
and that they would think is funny.
Yeah. So I was doing so the I did it. So the Improv put out a clip because I was performing with the legendary Pablo Francisco, and like I get Pablo so much. I get why he was like me, went down the drug route because his head is a supercomputer and he can't turn it off.
Yeah. So
he needs something that takes him out of his head.
Is he sober now?
I don't know, man. He's doing his thing. Who am I to judge, right?
Okay.
Right? So he's doing his thing.
I wish him all the best. I love him.
Dude, there's nobody funnier. But it's literally talking to a quantum computer. That's what it's like hanging out with Pablo Francisco. He's a quantum computer. But the whole point of this was I was doing a show at the Improv with Pablo. The Improv advertises a clip that I have, which is my joke about I don't do coke anymore. Now what I do is I take a bunch of Plan B, crush it up, put it in baggies, tell chicks it's blow, and have them do rails of Plan B while I blast inside them. That's the joke, right? And it's a great joke.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So the comment section is rape culture, rape culture, rape culture, rape culture. You might want to beep that, by the way. I just realized that.
What? Beep what?
The R word.
Oh, no, it wouldn't bleep that. We'd bleep your joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because to me, so then I go through I go through all the people commenting, and there's 11 of them. 9 of them are private accounts.
Interesting.
Private accounts. You can't comment back to them, or you can't see how many pictures they have up, or any of that, because that becomes the astro.
Bots.
Yeah, so then one girl undoes her. She's like a 20-year-old chick with 12 pictures up. What 20-year-old white girl has 12 pictures on her Instagram?
0.
Yeah, none.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court, or that judge, the federal judge, just made a ruling that the Biden administration can no longer talk to social media companies. Something about essentially that the Biden administration was in violation of
the First Amendment.
Of the First Amendment by essentially. And it's the same thing as the Supreme Court decision. Be like, oh my God, you made this, the poor gay people. It's like, no. What they were saying was that the
poor gay people.
The government,
by the way,
the government of Colorado,
poor gays.
the state government cannot compel speech. The woman did not refuse. She didn't refuse service. what she did was she said, you guys want your it's a gay marriage. You want me to build a website for you and say certain things.
Yeah.
I don't agree with gay marriage. It's my religious belief.
Right.
And the government Colorado said you have to. You have to because you cannot discriminate based on sexual orientation. But that's a good law, but this didn't fall into that. This fell into the fact that she said, wait, you're asking me to say something. You're asking me to create something which is a part of my speech that I don't agree with. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. Yeah. I just don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And they said the idea was that, well, if we said you'd have to, that means the government would be saying you must speak this way. And she's saying, I don't want to speak this way. So that's why it was overturned.
Yeah, interesting.
It gets in the weeds of things. Because if the government can make you if it can compel you to speak a certain way, now we're in trouble. And the progressives and the Democrats seem to have no problem allowing any government entity to spend endlessly, like the student forgiveness thing. Yeah. That's not for student forgiveness. That's loan transference. That's debt transfer.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah.
The taxpayer.
Right.
And so the idea is that there is a no limit to how much any program you can spend as much as you want. And there doesn't seem to be any limit on the power of the executive.
But we also know that they had no intentions of paying back those loans. Though that was never going to, it was set up to fail.
That's right.
But you say it so you get those people to vote for you. And then when they're done voting for you, you're like, man.
That's right. Well, that's right. Well, the Biden administration knew
100%
so Nancy Pelosi herself said, the president cannot forgive loans. It has to be an act of Congress. That's in the Constitution. And the Biden administration knew
that, dude.
They knew, and they knew it'd be turned down, but now they can run on the fact that, hey, guys, vote for me again, and maybe we'll get some liberal justices in there.
Yeah.
And the thing about the liberal justices is they're more social justice warriors than not looking at the letter of the law.
Well, it's the same thing with these reparations. No one's going to qualify for it.
I'm a little concerned that we're doing that right now.
All right.
Like what?
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a little concerned that you guys are trying.
You're right.
No, I don't agree with that.
I'm just talking about.
Hold on.
Tyranny.
How is that possible?
You're yelling at Mungs right now.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
And by the way, I love Mungs. I know a lot of Mungs, and they're good people. They're weird looking,
Clint
but
Eastwood,
they're good
by the way,
people.
is 93 and still directing.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta ask you, how is that old? Like I battle with this all the time. Am I just an old man, or like is this common?
No, you're not.
You're
fighting for freedom.
We're talking about they want to make this guy make this website. Well, he shouldn't have to make the website. We're old men with guns on our lawn.
No. It's just the shows about conspiracies, and you guys are just.
That might be a conspiracy.
Well, the conspiracy is why should I make a freaking reach around cake if I don't believe in it?
The conspiracy was that you got a bunch of comments from private accounts.
Yeah.
So it sounds like,
and which I think feels like the way those people felt. Like that joke made you uncomfortable.
Well, no. I feel like you're Al Pacino in Insomnia a little bit with these bots that are attacking you. But that joke is an odd joke for them to promote you with.
Why? It's a great joke.
It is true, Dylan, that men like me and Sam are starting to get on a loop. I'm on a loop right now. My complaints are starting to calcify. And I'm becoming a stereotype. My daughter said that's such a right-wing guy podcaster thing to say.
That
to me.
Is
She's 15.
hilarious.
She's 15. I went, oh no!
That is crazy.
I've become that guy, and I am that guy.
I disagree with all you guys. I'm sorry,
I disagree
dude.
too.
Pick a side, Brian.
No.
Either you're in or out. What are you doing, bro?
I'm in.
Pick a side.
No, I disagree.
It's either in or it's not. You keep going back and forth.
No, I'm not. I disagree with that characterization because But the thing you get into is the arguments are too nuanced, and we have to get into them.
Brian,
and people don't have the patience.
Brian, you know, an old man on a river, like on your lawn with a gun is. It's like blacks and whites shouldn't date. You know, the Jews are up to no good. Like that is to me like old school. Like, my old thing is like. How is like it old school to defend the Constitution?
Right.
Like how is that? How is that old school to go, hey man, you're in a state that did not have slavery. Why should this state be paying you for something you didn't go through?
Correct.
I mean, why is that? See, this is where we get into where it's like when people's point of views get challenged, now they start using terms. Like your 50-year-old daughter and Dylan use the same things to push back from us talking about stuff. Oh, look at you all, you old guys, you fucking conservatives. I'm out in the woods.
He's a 15-year-old girl with a mustache.
Yeah, you're a 50-year-old girl with a mustache.
Yeah, you
okay? It's just ridiculous. Like we have people here who believe they should be getting restitution for slavery that didn't happen in the state they never went to. Why is that an old man?
Because he's fucking Canadian.
Yeah,
Dylan's Canadian.
Fucking guy.
Well, hey, do you have a tattoo of Justin Trudeau?
To me. No, you can't use that when you're wrong. You just use it as a weapon when you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. You're getting way too triggered about this stuff.
No,
I'm not saying you're incorrect.
It's just ridiculous.
God damn it,
He's just
Sam.
saying this is a conspiracy show. And
yeah,
right now,
we're talking conspiracy.
No, you're not. You're talking about your grievances with the country right now. You're not talking about conspiracy.
You know what? He's got a point.
Dude, pick a side. Are you on my side or his side?
First of all,
dude, we got flip-flop over here. That's why you're wearing flip-flops, because you like the flip-flop.
Well, I need you to start dropping your larynx when you talk, because everything goes really high, and you never learn how to speak. Your larynx is riding up here.
All right.
I need you. So watch this.
It's very
If I'm very
weird,
serious,
bro.
I bring my larynx down.
Yeah.
I get real slow, and you right now are being penetrated by the sound waves of my voice. And it's very, very difficult for you to be the same after I've given you a talking to. It's very difficult for you not to feel my words.
I feel molested.
Deep down in your loins right now. There you go. My sound waves are getting into your mouth. They're going down your throat. And you can feel them right in your shitter. You can feel them right in your shitter. I'm pushing your shitter right out.
Uncomfortable.
Right now, sound waves are coming right out of your shitter.
Brian, can I tell you the other day? Like my balls are high and tight. I have high and tight balls.
I have low balls.
Yeah, my ball, but it's like lately they've been getting lower because probably I'm getting older.
Yeah, gravity.
And the other day, dude, I misjudged where the seat was.
Oh boy!
So I went to go sit down, but the seat was higher than it was, and boom! I sat right on my junk, bro.
Well, I rode a horse, as you know. I rode a horse in Petra, and I sat on my balls as I was galloping on that horse. And when I say sat on my balls, it hurts so fucking badly. And my balls actually haven't been the same since. I keep getting little stinging pains. I was like, testicular cancer? Nope, horse. Nope, bad horsemanship. Bad horsemanship. And don't confuse the two, you pieces of shit. All right?
All right. Brian, let's do your conspiracies. Or Dylan.
Just quickly, you cannot have high and tight balls if you're misjudging sitting down on a toilet. That kind of inherently means that
I didn't sit down and judge it. It was like a bench.
Oh, okay.
Does your dick hang low? Because my dick hangs low.
Okay.
I know. It hangs low.
So speaking of social media, we've got a new group of hires at Meta.
Yay! Let's see the blues and the pink hairs.
Around
oh my God.
Election policies.
That's so, old boss, new boss. That's how I feel. Old boss, new boss.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
XJ is to take charge of its elections policies. Bertman, who previously led the misinformation team at the company during the 2020 elections. You mean the misinformation team? Were they involved in Russian collusion? All right.
What?
I'm just saying, like I love how big tech is all about misinformation when
they're giving out all the misinformation.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable, and they keep moving forward like we don't know what they're doing. That's my favorite part. It's like, we got to stop this misinformation. Well, then stop giving us misinformation. How about that one?
I do personally think Meta and these companies are interested in information, and I think anybody with a brain knows that misinformation, even if it serves your side in the short term, is a really bad idea. So I do think that these companies are working in earnest to figure out ways.
Bryan, you are so cute.
To be able to control, to control.
Like, it's unbelievable.
No, but Sam.
Like, they're just like, we got to get control of this.
No, they do. They want control.
Our lives are out of control.
No, they do. They do.
Just control our lives.
No, they do. Legacy media would do themselves a big favor if they censored Adam Schiff. They know he lied, and they didn't. And if they take him seriously, then they're part of the problem.
Bryan, your assumption is that they care about the truth and that they care about getting.
I think all human beings do.
No, they don't.
I think people want to be on the side of the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody wants to be tricked. And the fact is that Meta and these other companies have been tricked.
Bryan,
by troll farms,
it's all black magic voodoo. You know that, right?
Well,
this
no,
is all about.
I don't.
This
Sam.
is all
Sam.
about jacking your luge. Okay,
no, Sam, you're being
and brainwashing
general.
you.
No, Sam, you're being very general.
No, I'm not being generous.
No, you're being insanely general again, and now you're painting the world as
Johnny,
you do with guys in black hats and guys in white hats.
My podcast get mixed up.
But
Bryan, it's all about mental manipulation.
No, it's not. It's
all about brainwashing.
No, it's about all people seeing a problem and then having different ways to solve the problem. Let me give you a very good example. A very good example.
Okay.
My voice is going to get a little deeper here. Feel this. Now, affirmative action.
Yeah.
Is there any doubt in anybody's mind that 400 years of, racial oppression, slavery has aftershocks, and that African Americans suffer to this day from the aftershocks of slavery and the legacy of racism? Of course. The question is, what do you do about it? What do you do about it? Do you believe the way progressives do that you should lower standards, lower the bar? I don't believe that. So really it comes down to who has a different idea of how to solve a problem. And some people on the left have ideas that I totally disagree with. Because they seem to think that top-down social engineering works even if it tramples on our freedoms and even if it's expedient today. And that's because they're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with the Democrats courting 18 to 25-year-olds. 18 to 25-year-olds, sorry, for the most part, the difference between an 18 or a 25-year-old and Bryan Callen, who's 56, is that I am less likely.
Every day you come on here, you add a year.
I know. I'm less likely to be swayed by a nifty story. I've been around too long.
Right,
when 100%. I hear a great story that tugs on my heartstrings, yeah, it tugs on my heartstrings. I go like this. Or somebody's telling me a hypothetical example. I go, hold on. This is starting to tug on my heartstrings. Been here before and gotten burned 60 times.
I got you.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
Young people don't do that as much. Young people are like, I'm optimistic. I'm one of God's favorites. The laws of the universe.
I'm a superhero.
It's going to be great, and we'll figure it out because I got the future to figure it out.
They haven't. Well, it's very interesting because we've created childhood. Childhood was a Western thing created to allow to not make kids.
You don't have to grow up as quickly.
Yeah, and we've created that. So, and the system is literally set up to basically shield children from the responsibilities of their actions. And now we've seen with things like murder and violent crimes that we've now made children have to pay for that price, and I understand that. And I agree with that. If you murder somebody, it's there's got to be some consequences for your actions, right? For sure. But so what we have here is a bunch of people. I have friends of mine that are just super idiotic, who I love, a lot of their political takes, but some of them, they have some stupid blind spots, which are 16-year-olds should vote. And I'm like, why do you want to give a 16-year-old the right to vote?
Who says that?
Oh, just some super
those people that say that
this guy plays trivia with.
The people
right?
that say that. The people
they love to say that.
The adults that say that shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Well, the problem is that you're giving people an opportunity to decide how we live when they haven't lived any life. We've literally created something that shelters them from any of the consequences and responsibilities of their actions. So we're allowing them to vote, and they're very idealistic. That's why the Democrats want to make the voting age lower, because they're like, oh, well, they have to go fight in war. Well, most women don't fight in war, and we allow them to vote. Do you know
what Jordan Peterson says about that, about protecting your kids from reality? He says, nature will find your children, and it's up to you to figure out when you want them ready. Because if you don't get them ready, if you don't get them self-sufficient, if you don't teach them how to solve problems, oh boy, you're going to get, you will lose them in the worst way.
This really affected me yesterday. I was spending my entire July 4th keeping my one daughter, who's on the spectrum, from just chaos. That I literally spent my whole 4th. That was it, chasing her down. And there was this moment where I'm like, should I just let her feel consequences of her actions? And everybody looked at me with like horror in their eyes. Like, why would you do that? I go, because she's never going to learn not to do that if I constantly grab her before she does it.
That's the hardest thing for a parent.
It's like and this again gets into how we raise our children. Like, it's like my mom's like giving me advice on raising kids. I'm like, Mom, you could beat them. You could beat us back when we were kids. We don't do that anymore. Right. We have to negotiate with terrorists.
That's right.
That's our whole thing right now. We are negotiating.
You're a person. I'm a person. You're an individual. I'm an individual. You're my hero.
Let me talk you through this.
You learn from me. Shut up.
And they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, the real world is a kick in the nuts. I'm going to be a bigger kick in the nuts. My buddy, his 3 kids are doing so well. They're crushing it. You know what he says to them when they were growing up? He goes, I know. Listen, I know I'm hard on you right now, but the world's a kick in the balls, and I love you enough to be a harder kick in the balls.
Well, now I got my new saying to say to my kids.
That's it. Do me a favor.
They don't even have
Jordan
balls.
Peterson. See if you can find a clip. Jordan Peterson talking about suffering. An antidote to suffering. Put in Jordan Peterson, antidote to suffering. Take a look at this clip, you fucks.
You fucks.
I find this to be so
horny,
moving. And this is right after he came out of a terrible drug. They were giving him this crazy antipsychotic or anti-anxiety medication. He almost died.
All right.
Okay, so he's a little older in this clip. He's
in a brown suit.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
What do you mean he's a little older?
Watch this.
We're all a little older.
You'll like this.
We're a little older than when we started the podcast.
Watch this.
Responsibility you could take on, and you faced everything that you needed to face. What would you be like? Who would you be? And how would the world transform around you? If the partial answer is, well, if I do that a little bit, things get a fair bit better, then the next question might be, well, what if you did that completely? It isn't obvious to me what the upper limit of that is. And when you see people bear their suffering nobly, there's nothing in that but good. That's something. And then when you see people take on more responsibility and decide that they're going to aim up and confront their suffering honestly and forthrightly, that their lives get better and the lives of people around them get better too. The pathway to less suffering is through suffering. It's like, well, there's suffering. How do you make it worse? Run away. How do you make it better? Confront it. Yeah,
yes!
Suffering. It's like, but it's there. It's a precondition for existence.
There's another clip, though, I want you to play.
That's right. That was wrong. Correct.
That's
a great clip.
That's a great clip.
That's a great clip, man. That is everything in recovery right there.
That's everything, right?
Run to your... I tell people in recovery all the time, hey, man, welcome. Welcome to being a first responder to your own problems.
Yeah. No, it's a clip just like that. But
it's fine. It's fine. We get the point. We get the point. If you find it, we'll listen to it.
Oh, I think I got it.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not sure now.
It's all right, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay,
it's all right. We'll just play Jordan. Here. This is a show.
The root cause of suffering? That doesn't sound correct, does it? Okay.
Acting your suffering doesn't justify your immorality. You're called upon to act.
Different one.
I mean, the guy is very prolific.
He says this basically.
Yeah.
He says, but it's so cool the way they do it. He says, people say, what is the antidote to suffering? And he said, I suppose the idea would be comfort. But that's what you act out when you're swaddling a baby. A better antidote to suffering would be an adventure to excellence and the part of the bravery of a mother and pain of a mother.
Got it.
Let me see it. This is awesome.
All right.
So then you might ask yourself, well, what's the best antidote to the discomfort of life?
Oh, yeah, he looks rough.
Well, it's comfort. I suppose that's what you act out when you swaddle a baby. But a better antidote is something like adventure to excellence. And that's far better antidote to suffering than the mere absence of suffering. So then you might ask yourself, well, what's...
Wow.
It keeps going, and he says, and that's the strength of a mother and the pain of a mother, to be able to say, away you go, kid, away you go. And the kid says, no, but it's dangerous out there. And mom says, yeah, you bet. It's more dangerous if you stay here with me, because out there you might lose your body. You stay here with me, you lose your soul.
That's good. That's good, bro.
Now, that's a good thing to extrapolate in general. And if your politicians start talking about how they're going to take care of you and that nobody's going to die under their watch and everybody's going to be fat and happy, you should run the other fucking way, because they're selling utopia.
I totally agree, Bryan.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And and this gets into like what?
Yeah.
And this is where this guy is we're gonna lose him. But
he's
the
15.
notion of communism is that let's get rid of poverty.
That's right.
Right.
And hierarchy.
Right.
And dominance hierarchies.
Right.
And everything is about power.
So you get into this like, okay, you want to get rid of poverty. Do you know how many people just in our own lives have come from complete dog shit and just been like, I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't want my kids to live this life anymore. I'm going to bust my hump to figure out something that makes me special, that helps me financially rise from where I am. From where I started. My whole thing is like, you're a great example. Your family's done very well. Someone at some point in your family said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be in this financial level anymore. I'm going to change the trajectory of my family, and figured out a niche that they were really good at, and they rose above. Now, I have millionaires for friends. I'm doing very well.
Yep.
I'm doing very well. Outside of a couple doctors in my family, I'm probably doing better than most people in my family, financially, not spiritually. Sure. I have friends of mine. I have one relative who started a business a long time ago, and he's now passing it on to his children, and they run the business. I would tell you he's probably one of the most successful human beings I've ever met in my life. Spiritually, and financially, he's fucking crushing it. But it's like we all figure out a time where we're going to change our family's trajectory.
Sorry, I sing medieval hymns because I'm pretty spiritual, dude. Okay?
The point is, dude, poverty is something that is necessary for people to get the willpower to change their lives. And that's it. And then there's some
you guys to yell at each other.
Well, I think Sam and I are establishing the bedrock from which we spring.
Yeah,
and
which we spring. Give me some conspiracy so I can yell at this guy.
Okay, thank you.
Sam is starting to realize, I think, very, very, and it's a great satisfaction to me that the world really is composed not of cabals of evil men, but just different ideas.
And here we are.
Ideas.
Thank you.
There we go.
And at the end of the day, people have different ideas and philosophies, probably linked to their personalities on how we should solve the world's problems. And they get into tribes and groups. And one of the things that the other tribe loves to do, if they're
Bryan, do we know of all the tribes and all the groups?
Well,
do we know them?
Yes, but
do we know them?
No,
we don't know of
if
them.
They're rudimentary and they're
Bryan,
thinking,
have you ever
they
heard,
say that side drinks
Bryan,
baby
have you
blood
ever heard the
and kills
Council of
people.
National Policy? Have you heard of this group?
No, but it's not a real.
You don't know
group.
nothing.
It's not a real group.
You don't know nothing.
But it's not a real group.
This guy doesn't know nothing.
And Sam has got to start to realize that by demonizing the other group with false narratives like they molest children and eat pizza.
Bryan, were the Nazis bad guys? Can we talk about that?
The Nazi ideology.
Were they bad guys?
Yes, the Nazi.
Was that a group?
Yes, the Nazis.
Okay,
yes.
but you don't think there's some Nazis that maybe aren't like, hey, we're Nazis. They're like, hey, let's keep it down. You don't think that, Bryan?
I think that. What do you mean? That there are some Nazis? There are Nazis out there.
There's groups.
Yes.
That have bad intentions.
Yes.
That maybe don't want everyone to know that they have bad intentions.
Sure.
Okay, that's called a secret society, you retard. Okay,
Yes, I know, but They don't run the world.
What are you talking about?
So Nazis run. Hold on, Sam.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Nazis run the world?
Bryan, the Germany lost World War II. The Nazis didn't. The Nazis actually accomplished what they wanted to do, which was annihilate Germany. Now they're running the WEF. They're basically in Switzerland running everything.
Sam?
The Nazis are in Switzerland running everything.
That's not true.
That is true, Bryan.
That isn't
Look at all the stuff that's in Switzerland. The Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, which runs everything.
The Bank
the
of
WEF.
Hold on.
The CERN.
The
The Club of Rome. Yes,
Sam,
we can just keep
Bank
going,
of
bro.
International
Keep
Settlements.
going.
The Bank of International.
Bryan,
Hey, look
Bryan,
up the
you're
bank.
about to enter a place in which we cannot
Look
come.
up the Bank of
Okay?
Hey, wait,
you
wait,
can't
wait.
go so deep
Is
into
the
retard
CERN
town and come back.
Is the CERN Collider bad?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really? So all
Yes.
those physicists are bad.
Yes, Bryan.
What are they doing exactly? Are they trying to kill the world, Sam?
Yeah, Bryan, they're trying to connect with the old ones. Yes.
Okay, here's a question. What does the CERN Collider do?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different things. Some people think that.
No, not some people think. I was asking you if you know what it does.
Well, you know, there's a belief it's just a giant money
I'm not
front
saying
full
what
of
the,
shit,
I'm not
right?
saying what the
just
belief
where
is.
it's just a
But
giant.
I'm not saying what the belief is. I was asking you.
Money pit.
I was asking you what
so they
what
can
it
money
does.
launder and sponsor freaking
Yes, but I was
terrorism
just
around the
asking you
world,
if you could
right?
tell me what it
and then what they're doing is they're colliding particles to see if they can get down to basically the smallest essence of the universe. And what they've done is open up portals, and creatures have come through, and now we're
Creatures have
dealing
come
with it.
through.
Yeah.
When you get in your car and there's like a sticker that hasn't been there for 6 months, but all of a sudden now it's there, is that a good thing you go
Yeah,
through?
Bryan,
no, it's very
answer
confusing.
that.
It's
Hold on.
very, very
What do you
I don't know
mean?
where
there's
you're
a
going with this,
what
but
do you
answer
mean?
Well,
that.
that's what CERN does. When we turn on CERN Day, it creates parallel universes that we slide into
Bryan.
unbeknownst to us. It's
I
very
told the
strange.
Mandela effect, you dumbass.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Dumbass!
how you know?
Where is this? I didn't know that I was in an alternative reality every time they turn the CERN Collider on, because I think the CERN Collider is always on.
Yeah, Bryan, every time on this show, I think it's Groundhog's Day because you say the same retard shit every time.
But you're saying the Club of Rome and the CERN Collider
Yeah.
and the Bank of Settlements.
Yeah, Bank
all
of International Settlements.
All in Switzerland are
Yeah.
doing what?
Are Nazis.
So the physicists at the CERN.
Yeah.
Collider
Bryan, were there Nazi
Nazis.
physicists?
Sure.
Okay,
They're all
were they
dead.
good guys?
They're all dead now.
Have we not talked about turn on
They're
CERN
all
Day
dead.
before?
No, we haven't.
They're all
no,
dead
we
now.
totally have.
No, we have not. Not in this reality.
But they're all dead now.
Who?
The Nazis that worked on that were trying to create a nuclear
So
bomb.
Bryan, so do you think it's kind of crazy that that Canada, that basically Trudeau's like number one or number two woman who decided to basically do social credit score on anybody who supported the truckers by shutting down their bank accounts. You don't think it's kind of weird that her grandfather and grandparents were literal Nazis who had pictures with Hitler? You don't think that's kind of weird, Bryan?
Not even a little.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
That just happens to be that the apple didn't fall far from the tree and they were committing fascism. Blatant fascism.
No, I don't think because your grandfather was a Nazi that makes you a Nazi.
Bryan, she's a literal fascist. Literal, down to the term fascist.
She might be a far left ideologist.
She's a fascist. Yes. When the government and business come together to suppress the freedoms of the citizens, that is fascism.
That's not exactly fascism.
What is it, Bryan?
I would agree that fascism, that Trudeau has fascists in his coalition who think that they know better than the populace.
But you don't think it's crazy that the woman whose grandparents were literal Nazis, literal pictures with Hitler, okay, is now shutting down dissidents, shutting down their bank accounts, shutting down their ability to provide for their family. You don't think that's weird?
I think she is, in fact, she's so anti-Nazi that she is. See, the left can pretend to be. So the left becomes so ideological about equality and about safety that they become fascists. So it's kind of a snake eating its own tail. So I think that she's a big enough moron, and ignorant enough about history to not even realize how much of a fascist she actually is when she thinks she's doing good.
Oh, that's a bell ringer right there, I think, probably.
Yeah.
Well, because that's much more reasonable than she's a victim of cyclical patterns of generational Nazism,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
What?
It's not a virus, Sam.
No, dude, are you guys? I mean, I am getting tag teamed by the stupid right now.
Bring up this person he's talking about.
So Klaus Schwab's dad, literal Nazi, is running the WEF. You don't think that just happens? That they got in the family business? You think he just, it all worked out?
Klaus Schwab was an academic.
Brian.
No. Klaus Schwab is an arrogant academic who thinks he knows better than most people.
I'm so happy you don't put numbers on here because I'm tired of going back to episode 0.
But Klaus Schwab is just an arrogant academic.
Brian, who
wrote a couple books that nobody read.
Brian,
who wrote a couple books.
How did you come in dumber?
He wrote in a couple books no one read.
How did you come in dumber?
And so the World Economic Forum is really about a bunch of people trying to solve the world's problems, and they're arrogant enough. It's the cool kids club. They all get to hang out together. They're all starstruck with each other. They're all like, look at me, I'm flying privately.
Brian.
And then they have the arrogance to think that they can come up with ideas that sometimes help and most of the time probably
don't. So you
don't.
just think it's kind of just a quinky dink that yet again, that somebody whose parents were literal Nazis have got into basically a new world order, oppression of freedom?
Well, let's talk about this for a sec. Do you think that there's anything positive about world leaders getting together?
I don't even know where you're going, and the answer is no.
So do you think there's anything positive about people in power getting together to cooperate about things that could be global problems? So let me give you a couple examples. The runaway effects of artificial intelligence, the runaway effects of gene editing like CRISPR-Cas9 to create viruses that could crush us, the runaway effects of technology that could create a thermonuclear weapon that fits inside a suitcase. Do you think that there's any value in looking at things as global problems?
Yeah.
Do you think there are global problems?
What you're saying.
Do you think there are global problems?
Here's what I'm saying. The problem with global people looking at global problems is that the global people have caused all the global problems. That's it. You're asking for people to solve a problem they've caused.
So what if but isn't that who usually should solve the problem?
No, not the people who create the problem.
Well, wait. There are people that create a problem and they go like this.
What?
Can you and Brian's right about this, but it's not a bell ringing kind of thing. Can you scooch that over to Sam? Just push it with your hand. Just push it over to Sam. There you go. Yeah.
Fuck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wait, what am I ringing about? Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on. Her grandfather was a Nazi collaborator. What does that mean? It means nothing.
It does mean something when you do Nazi shit, Brian. Okay,
Crystal Freeland, hold on. Let me just
Brian, if her dad or grandpa was a Nazi collaborator and she got into gardening, we'd be like, dude, it's not a real big deal.
In the midst of Russia's preparations to invade Ukraine, Canada's Deputy Prime Minister Crystal Freeland issued a statement outlining why Canada. Can you make it bigger?
I'm trying. It's freezing on me.
Why Canada, home to the largest Ukrainian diaspora outside Russia, would support Ukraine unconditionally, outlining a McKeon view.
Let me snag it back. I'll find the most damning paragraph that will prove that Sam is the victor in this, and then I'll put it back on the screen.
But because she's not a Nazi.
It's amazing how you can't read when you're wrong.
Collaborated with the Nazis. It doesn't make her a Nazi.
Oh, my eyesight. Can't read this article that's going to tell me how retarded I am.
So are you saying that makes her a Nazi?
Brian, I have this theory, right?
Yeah.
That you can't really judge somebody for the sins of thy father or even grandfather unless they get into the family business, okay? And that's what she's doing.
All it takes is the family business.
If she was just growing apricots, we'd be like, yeah, her grandpa was a Nazi collaborator, but she just grows fruit. She's not that person. She's literally in business oppressing the citizens of Canada by doing social credit score and shutting down their bank accounts when they want to push back against the government. How is that Nazi? How is that not fascism?
Well, it's fascism, but that has nothing to do with her grandfather being a Nazi collaborator.
Brian,
do you know what fascism means?
I want to tell you something. Your ego is not your amigo right now, okay? Your ego won't allow you to admit that you're
drawing
wrong.
a correlation.
You're wrong, Brian.
No, you're drawing a correlation that makes no sense.
I'm not, Brian. You're in denial that you got this all wrong.
Sam, I want you to... Sam, hold on.
Okay.
Sam, I want you to hear this. Sometimes I've got to teach you.
Every time
I never want you to confuse causation with correlation. There are things that correlate. The murder rate goes up in the summer. People eat ice cream in the summer. Just that doesn't mean ice cream eating causes murder. Do you understand?
No, Brian. That's
and you're making a classic
example,
rudimentary, elementary,
it's
plebeian error in the way your mind works.
It is like
unfortunately, your mind. You believe the sins of the father should be visited upon his generations. You should go back and read the Old Testament because you sound like an Old Testament.
It's so dumb what you're
Bryan,
saying.
You are really struggling today because actually...
No, that's not why.
Yeah,
ice cream sales do not lead to homicide.
Okay.
There are more homicide in
Hey,
the
dog.
summer.
It gets weird out there,
you
man.
fucking piece of shit.
Okay.
You know what? You're getting a fucking red card.
I'm not. I'm rescinding that red card. Any other stories?
Yes. Okay. So, we have a secret island of the CIA that I would like to show Bryan a video of. We also have a predictive post on 4chan about an attack on a Russian and nuclear power plant.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay. All right.
Very excited.
Okay.
Anytime Bryan can get some new information. What is this? I don't know what this is.
It's called Diego Garcia, and it is located in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, hold on.
In 2008.
Let it go.
Are those drawings?
Well, I mean,
Are those?
what? Can we play the video?
All right.
Yeah, Bryan.
Already I smell bullshit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, okay.
It's
your own mouth.
Let me just
That's
get
what
under,
you smell.
Let me get under
okay?
the water and
that's
just
what's
have
coming out
just
of your
my
mouth.
eyes showing the way hippos do when it's a hot day.
Okay.
Eating ice cream.
Just got skeptical hippo eyes. Go
There
on.
we go.
The CIA doesn't want you to know that this island exists. It's called Diego Garcia, and it is located in the Indian Ocean. In 2008, Time magazine published an article about the island of Diego Garcia, stating that it is where the CIA takes all its detainees to torture them. But they also believe that the CIA conducts experiments beneath this island. Have you heard about the Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 that disappeared? In reality, this flight may not have vanished. It landed there, and they abducted the people from the plane and subjected them to torture. The reason we might think this is because there was an IBM employee on the plane who posted a photo 10 days after the plane's disappearance. The photo showed what looked like some sort of experimental room. And if you look at the geographic coordinates of the photo, it matches this island.
I guess Diego Garcia exists.
I've been
And
there.
The CIA captured all those people so that they could.
I went on a USO there.
So the CIA wants to torture those people.
I mean, like it's possible.
Do they
I
wanna
mean,
run
at the end, it gets a little
It's
crazy.
definitely
But
not possible though.
it's definitely. Hold on, Bryan.
Right. It's definitely not.
Bryan.
Yeah.
Are you here on this show? Are you attempting to destroy all credibility of the show by saying the CIA does not have black ops torture centers?
Actually, they do.
There we go. Bingo.
Extraordinary rendition is a thing. It's a stain on the CIA. In the what's called the salt. It's called the salt. I think it's called the Salt Flats or something. They had these sites in Afghanistan where people were tortured to death, hung in freezing cold weather, hung by their hands, kept awake until they died. So there is no doubt that the CIA after 9/11 tortured and killed people.
Oh, it's called the salt pit. Oh my
salt pit,
gosh.
yeah. Really awful shit.
That is horrifying.
And I'm glad that some of it has come out, but not enough collective outrage about this. And of course, the biggest worry is any military organization that has no accountability.
Guess what the CIA is, Bryan? Nazis!
Well, no, Sam. Sam.
No, you can't. You can't ring the bell on that.
Cannot call.
You gotta
call the Patriots. You cannot call the Patriots or the CIA.
Patriots.
That risk their lives defending this country.
Here, Bryan. We're talking Nazis.
No. The CIA has a lot of great patriots who serve our country and keep
right,
us safe.
Bryan. Right.
And
but you remember that?
And I know several of them.
You remember that cool ass video that I made you guys watch, where you guys, this is the worst video ever, where the leader, the head of the CIA says everything is compartmentalized. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that?
That's fine.
Huh? Thank you. So, are there some good people in the CIA? Well, Bryan said so. Let's do it.
Good.
I'll
most
agree
of
with
the
it.
CIA
Okay,
is good people.
Okay, we'll say most people.
Most are
fine,
are
Bryan.
Are patriots.
Okay,
And,
You've been wrong about
and
so
work
much stuff
and work
today.
long hours, work long hours for very little money and risk their lives, especially in the Directorate of Operations and Ground Branch, etc. I'm a bit of a I might have some clearance. Maybe when I was in Israel and Jordan, etc., I wasn't just a tourist.
Oh, Jesus!
Wouldn't it be funny if I was like this?
Ice cream versus murder rate in New York.
God damn it, Dylan!
Something's there.
All right, so there was a post on 4chan.
Oh boy, 4chan,
dude.
Well, I mean, go on.
It is from July 3rd, and it is outlining the attack on the nuclear power plant that happened today.
Did the attack happen?
Yes.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
That's so crazy, bro. Who sends out a fucking Evite on a nuclear attack? Bryan, is that big enough for you to read?
Yeah.
All right, can we read it? Can you read it, Bryan?
The Ukraine government and the United States government are working together in order to bomb the Zaporizhzhia plant. So they wouldn't know this, but okay. And blame nuclear meltdown on Russia, thus giving us immediate authority to use tactical nuclear warheads on Moscow. Okay. This will trigger the Russians to throw everything they have back at the U.S. Okay, right. Thunderstorms are likely in Endahar, Ukraine on the 4th, so that is the only reason it may be pushed to the 5th. Right. You have 72 hours maximum to prepare for nuclear war. Right. Hopefully, 96 of the Russians are slow to respond, and we have all been told to stay home and prepare. We have been giving $15,000 bonuses each to buy survival supplies, if necessary, and our offices in Yorkville, Virginia have been closed down permanently. Bullshit. So this is define, not a conspiracy theory. Please prepare, guys. Right. Well, I'm sure that person in their basement who wrote that with Cheeto-stained fingers is got top secret clearance.
Bryan, look at this guy. This is called gaslight. Is that gaslighting, Bryan, that you're doing right there? Are you gaslighting with Cheeto fingers? Is that gaslighting?
Volodymyr Zelensky warns of Russian threat to attack Ukraine nuclear power plant. Now, do you think he says things like that so that he can keep the money from U.S.
and
Congress
the coke
flowing?
This guy loves blow.
Well, no, I think Hunter Biden does because they
do blow together.
No,
and then they run trains on each other.
No, he wasn't there. No.
Yeah.
See, now you're turning your enemy.
Bryan, did you just say that Hunter Biden wasn't in the Ukraine?
No, I didn't.
Did you just say that? You did. You just said that.
No, I didn't.
You did say that.
No, I didn't.
I heard you say it.
Wait, do you think?
Did you hear him say it?
Wait.
I actually didn't because I was.
No, I said Hunter Biden was doing coke in the White House. Is clearly what happened. But can I ask you a question?
The plant wasn't bombed. Mea culpa. There was just accusations that Russia was doing it. Sorry.
I'm aware.
Yeah, and also, like, who lets everybody know? Hey, we're bombing this day. Get ready.
Are you would you let Ukraine just float in the wind, or do you believe in defending them?
I do not believe in defending them.
Really?
I think
So you'd give Ukraine to the Russians?
I would give the parts of Ukraine that want to be Russian to Russia.
Eastern Ukraine.
Okay. They're going to lose. They're losing all their youth.
But
their
Russia
young
wanted
men.
all of Ukraine, not just the Eastern Ukraine.
Well, I'm not going to tell another country about taking over territories when we've been doing it all the time. What we did to the Middle East should exempt us from any comment on what other countries are doing. I'm sorry, Brian. Like what we did to the Middle East, there will be a price to pay for that. It might just be spiritually, or it could be the rest of the world condemning our government for what they do. I think if the United States was very smart, we would start to go, this isn't us. This is this Nazi, Molochian, military-industrial complex that has hijacked us out of Switzerland. Beep, beep, boo.
Yeah. Sam, that's where we have to stop. It's not out of Switzerland.
Beep, 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 beep,
no, I can't have you saying that's out of Switzerland.
Can we just get your temp on this? Do you think there's any validity to this at all?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and read that.
When you trick the stupid humans into thinking your people went extinct, but you really evolved into interstellar pirates that siphon their chi.
There we go. That is the most true shit you'll ever see today. Thank you, Dylan, for dropping some spiritual bombs on us, bro. Brian, there should have been a 4chan post which says, on July 5th,
you're fired.
A spiritual bomb will be dropped on Brian Callen's dirt hole pincher that will blow it up and open up his third eye.
Pincher. Yeah. A dirt hole pincher.
That was a shout out to Jimmy Schumer.
He said mud whistle. I was dropping a sewer pickle out my mud whistle. He's so funny.
So no truth to that.
I don't think there's any truth to the fact that dinosaurs actually.
Brian, will you ask your dad? Are lizard people cool or are they real? Do they smell?
I will ask him. All
right.
I think seriously thoughtful people realize that people in power are egotistical just like anybody else.
Oh, Brian, but not evil?
Just as flawed, just as foolish, and just as short-sighted as a lot of people. And in fact, their ambition and hubris leads
Brian, can I ask you something fun?
They can't solve.
Where did they get it right?
Who?
The people. The elites. Where did they get it right?
Oh.
Where did they get it right and it worked out for humanity?
They got it right in a lot of ways.
Where?
Oh, well, in representative government, in the fact that you and I...
No, Brian, we're talking since the 1950s. Where have they gotten it right?
Okay. In, for example, the freedom that has allowed us to make our own money individually. Look at what computers have done. Computers have freed us and given us all the information at the same time.
Okay. So computers.
There's no doubt we've made huge strides medically. Children don't die of useless childhood cancers the way they used to. That's a fact. We have.
So you're citing the pharmaceutical company?
Yes, they've solved
industry.
God,
they've saved a lot of lives. Here we go.
They've saved a lot of lives.
Okay, a lot of lives.
That's a fact since the 50s.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's not even close.
Yeah.
By the way,
right.
I should continue with the fact that we have an endless variety of foods anytime we want.
Okay.
Thank you.
As we get fatter.
Thank you, genetic engineering.
And gene splicing food that changes our genetics.
But Sam, we do have a variety of anything we want, including the healthiest of foods. And by the way, the other thing I would say that's incredible is that there has become an equality of consumption. And I'll give you an example.
An equality of consumption.
Cars that are cheaper, that burn cleaner, and that don't break down on the road. Everyone has a flat screen TV. Everyone has a phone, and they can FaceTime their loved ones no matter where they are. Travel has become way cheaper than it was.
What are you talking about, Brian?
Everybody.
It cost me $1 billion to go gig in Cleveland.
More importantly,
what are you talking
cancer
about?
rates across the board have fallen drastically, and the number of times that a plane crashes or that a terrorist event happens in this country is so rare, you can hang your hat on the fact that it'll almost never happen. But I could keep going.
Yeah.
Violent
I wish
crime,
you would, please.
Violent crime has fallen markedly since the 50s. See Enlightenment Now, Steven Pinker's work on this.
All right, we're going to end it here. I just want to give a quick... Do you have anything else?
Well,
Okay.
I'd like you to acknowledge that I'm right.
No, you're not
You
right.
can't just get the absolute shit beat out of you and then end the show.
You got
What are
the
you
shit beat out
talking
of you.
about? You're a fucking trickster,
No, you got
bro.
the shit beat out of you just now.
No, I didn't.
I gave you several examples. I
No,
can
you
keep
didn't,
going,
Brian.
but we
We
don't
can
have time
sit down and go,
about
why
how
are
much
those
better we
things
are
out?
doing.
Oh, this phone. Oh, my God, this amazing
Sam-
phone that everyone
and
has.
Sam-
That also tracks your data, listens to you.
Sam, may I-
okay, you're right.
Sam, may I-
these flat screen TVs
Sam-
are so smart. Oh, you mean the things that spy on you in your
Sam,
house?
may I give
okay,
you-
gotcha.
May I give you the biggest
No, you can't.
advancement? The biggest advancement?
Yeah.
Since the 50s?
Yeah.
If you were black.
Interracial
if you're
porn.
black-
That's it.
if you're
Outside
black,
that, done, bro.
I would ask a black person, a brown person, an Asian person, an Armenian person,
Why
an
an Asian
Arabic
person?
anybody but a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed person, if life is freer and better since the 50s. And I think if you ask them that, they
where
will
am I
in a
asking
full-throated way,
Brian.
say to you,
Brian.
Sam,
Brian.
life is
Brian, are you
1,000%
saying,
better.
Brian,
Because
are you
now I
telling
can
me
express myself
that if I went to
honestly,
the average person
openly,
right
with
now
clear eyes and a
in
full heart,
America and said,
and I have people
are you
that represent
freer?
me.
Do you think this woke ass country, everyone's gonna go, it's so much better than it
Yes,
used to be.
I do.
You're nuts,
Yes,
Brian.
I do.
You are nuts.
God bless America.
I can't believe you actually had the balls to say I lost
free.
to this unpatriotic
The guy-
diarrhea that just came out of his
Messiah.
mouth. Like, oh, yeah. Dude, thank you, pharmaceutical companies. Thank you, big tech, for making our lives so much better.
They have made our
You're
lives
right,
better.
dude.
They
Brian,
have made our lives
You're a
better.
retard.
They have
okay?
made our lives
That's
better.
how I want to end the show.
Sam-
Brian's a retard.
Sam,
I
they
want to take a
have.
moment to
There
say
are
we
so
lost
many
a wonderful
cancers,
human being.
Testicular cancer, hepatitis
Peter,
C,
the
so many different
owner
diseases we don't
of the
deal with.
funny
Polio.
stop outside of Cleveland has passed away, and I
Who
just
did?
want this guy Peter. He used to own a very funny comedy. He was the owner of a comedy club in Funny Stop that was in just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. He passed away, and I just want to send him, his family, a whole bunch of love. So, we lost a wonderful, wonderful person and a hilarious man, and just a guy that gave everybody a shot at his comedy club. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. And I'm sad they left. Pete was such a funny ass man, and it just sucks that he's gone.
I
And-
apologize for looking at my phone in the beginning of that because that was bad taste.
No, it wasn't.
He's
But
a good man, huh?
Peter was a good man, and I just want to give him a shout out to
Anybody
those
that
at
owns
the
a
farm.
comedy club, a lot of times they bring laughter.
They bring a lot of laugh, and he gave everybody a shot. His club was ran ridiculously
Yeah.
off the rails,
Yep. A B-level room.
but it was great. And he was great, and I'm thankful they let me perform there. So I just want to give him him and his family, sending them love and prayers. So thank you. Anything else, guys?
Just good victory today, Bryan.
Greenville, South
won?
Carolina. Greenville, South Carolina Comedy Zone. I'll see you this weekend, Friday, Saturday.
SamTripleE.com. I might have some dates. Oh, I have some dates. Going to be in Connecticut. Going to be in. I'm all over the place. I have dates coming though. I'm in Salt Lake too, guys. I'm in Salt Lake this month. Yeah, I'm in Salt
Boise.
Lake. I'm in Ventura. I gotta get my Salt Lake date. Oh, there it is. Bang, Boise, Idaho. I'm in Boise. Excuse me. Then Ventura. Then I'm in Connecticut. Go check it out.
Rare dub for Bryan, but he got it over the line today. It was a
No
really good
way,
show.
bro. That's some BS. I win all
Ben
the
and
time.
Jerry's.
What?
On 4th of July, Ben and Jerry's says, U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land.
Brian, do you think if you
true,
went to
but-
the blacks, Asians, Latinos of Ben and Jerry's, they'd be like, I'm freer than ever. At the end, steals the win.
That's true. That's a really
Ben and
good
Jerry
point,
called on
yeah.
the U.S. to return stolen indigenous land.
Bye,
Ben
guys.
Jerry's has called
Ben
on the
and
US.
Jerry's ice cream
They said,
sucks.
return the stolen
Oh, but
land.
let me guess. Is that old guys on the lawn with their guns? Huh?
God.
Oh my God! This is what they tweeted. They tweeted this: the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. This 4th of July, let's commit to returning it.
No, we're gonna do a. Are we still going?
Yeah, I mean,
End the show.
I mean,
End the show.
I don't know. He's still sitting down. It seems like he wanted to talk about that.
Okay, you guys keep going.
Well,
End the show.
Guys,
I won. I'm tired of winning.
Guys, I crushed today.
You did not crush
And that's
anything.
a fact.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.